She's got room. The Central Coast girl, Jocelyn Kelleher, has kicked it. The Roosters lead in the milestone game with Parker in the bin, and the Roosters are into the grand final.
Kerry Johnson has 20 metres, 10, there's a try. They go coast to coast again, the Broncos. And that will be full time. The original Giants of NRLW, the Brisbane Broncos, back in the big dance. They'll take on the Roosters.
Hello, welcome to Code Sports Show and Go. Pam's got a big smile on her face because we got the grand final we expected and probably what we wanted. Even though, it's what the rugby league community probably got excited most for, to see 1v2 make it to the big stage.
Well, their game earlier this year, round 3, was an absolutely cracking game. So I am just so excited to see them go at it again. I think it's the grand final we all wanted. So let's go.
Just in case you're living under a rock, when I say 1v2, it's Roosters v Broncos. They were by far and away the best two teams all year. So tough to beat. On the weekend, the two prelims, though, that we did get, the Broncos were excellent, never looked really in any danger of not making it to grand final day. But the Roosters Sharks game was an epic and was really an excellent advertisement for women's rugby league.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just the Roosters having so many injuries as well, obviously without Taryn Aiken, probably one of their best players, if not their best player. And then to see Jocelyn Kelleher step up in her 50th game, kick that field goal.
She's got room. The Central Coast girl, Jocelyn Kelleher, has kicked it. The Roosters lead in the milestone game with Parker in the bin.
So cool and calm. It was just an amazing game. So tightly contested. It was a great game.
The Broncos got over the hoodoo, though. That was a big thing for them because whilst they were on fire leading into finals, there was this question mark over them, wasn't there?
Yeah, for sure. Like the last couple of years, I think it's the last 2 seasons in a row, and I think it might be 3 of the last 4 seasons, they've made it to the semi-finals and then been knocked out. And they've been pretty favoured, across that time as well. So for them to finally get over that hurdle was just huge for them. That was just another great show from the Broncos. So they're looking pretty dangerous.
It didn't feel, though, that they even they didn't need to get out of second gear.
No.
Like, it was a hot day.
Yeah.
It looked like, they put on the score that they did against Newcastle, but it definitely felt like they've got more gears to go in a grand final.
Yeah, like it wasn't anywhere near their most polished performance. And I think that neither was the Roosters either. So that week off really kind of, I think, did play into a few things. It was a little bit clunky. It wasn't as smooth. It kind of did halt their momentum a little bit. I mean, that's tough to say. They're both through to the grand final, but it wasn't as smooth as it kind of was towards the back end of the season. So
the Chooks cooked, though, because it looked like maybe they've run out of steam. Yeah. In terms of their injury toll, some of their players in the forward pack looked a bit hurt on the weekend. Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about the Sharks in a second. Yeah. Like, they did a great job. But this is a Roosters team that have blown teams off the park all year.
Well, as we knew, like Rima Butler was carrying an injury coming in. So was, who else do we have? Amber Hall was carrying a calf injury too. They both played. But it doesn't seem to be, they might be running out of steam a little bit. And when you look at the Broncos, they, as we said, they didn't really get into top gear and they absolutely smoked Newcastle. So, I think that Roosters side is going to have felt every bit of what the Sharks threw at them physically. Yeah. And the recovery that game required will mean, John Strange has got some patching up to do to get them feeling fresh. Yeah. For grand final day. 1,000%. And just an interesting scene to see him on the sideline. Do you reckon he's ever felt so stressed? Like, I know.
Because it's been fairly comfortable.
If he had any hair, it would be grey.
Just from that game, anyway. No, I don't feel bad for him because, sorry, you haven't had to feel that way.
Truly.
It's the first time really this season he's been under pressure. That team has had any pressure thrown at them. All right, so let's talk about what the Sharks did. I think the scene pre-game, we talked about it in the coverage. at half time. I think that told us what we were going to get from the Sharks. Tiana Penatani-Gray was in a huddle with her team. Tony Herman told me that he does this every game. He says what he says and then he says, over to you, T. And she just goes, got it. And every game she delivers, but this looked like one of those almighty pre-game speeches.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh God, they're on here.
Yeah.
And she's done it before. She did it with them at halftime in a grand final last year and almost pulled that game from the fire. She's one of the most incredible leaders we have in women's rugby league.
For sure. And I think, year on year, she's just gaining more and more respect for that, getting more and more recognition for that leadership she shows as well. She's just an incredible speaker. She's so motivating and positive. Just a great leader. And, obviously they fell short, but what an incredible show of rugby league from that team, who looked pretty much down and out towards the end of the season. I mean, we said that too, didn't we? That they were really on a bit of a slide. They had so many injuries, and then to really put it to the Roosters like that and miss out by a field goal. Incredible.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And in the battle of the centres, which is the blockbuster battle that we wanted to see, Jess Sturgis, Isabel Kelly, v Tiana Penatani-Gray, and the returning Anessa Biddle, who is clearly such an important part to what they do there, because she was motivating and inspirational in what she did.
Yeah, so damaging. I just love her. I love her. She's so bold. Yeah. She, I
she
love
takes it
watching
on.
her. She does,
and
she's
she
not
loves
afraid.
she loves playing Izzy.
She's young. She loves playing Izzy. She's not intimidated. She's not afraid. And I think Izzy loves that too. So love it.
Quincy Dodd returned. She was responsible. Basically, she came on with 13 minutes, I think it was, to go, and immediately she releases Jada Taylor, who then we see Bridie Parker get sent to the sin bin. So just Quincy's role in this team is so important. And when they were struggling at the back end of the year, the injury toll was mounting up. Her absence was clearly being felt.
Absolutely, like she's so important for what they do around the middle and just getting them organised. The addition of Quincy really did have an impact in them.
Shante Kiriarachi scores a try that just puts them right in it. And then, as you said, Jocelyn Kelleher in her 50th NRLW game kicks the field goal of her life, which was wonderful to see for her. Absolutely heartbreaking for the Cronulla Sharks, but they deserve huge congratulations. They've done what no one has been able to do in the 12 games that the Roosters have played this season, and that is give them a real run for their money. They are an impressive club, considering it's sort of like no frills in Cronulla. It really is no frills.
They don't have the centre of excellence. They don't have any of these really high-tech, fancy things.
No toys.
There's no toys. So they just are a team that are just playing for each other, a great group of friends, I think. So
a great culture that Tony Herman and his team have put together. And congratulations to the Sharks Harvey Norman premiership winning side on the weekend. They beat the Knights in the reserve grade comp. They're in a good place. Tony Herman's daughter is the halfback of that team, which is a great little storyline, and wonderful to see them get a reward for all the hard work in their pathways as well. So we've got the Roosters and the Broncos through to the grand final, an enormous grand final week ahead for them, and right smack bang in the middle of it is our Rugby League Night of Nights, all the glam, all the glitz, the Dally M Awards. Take us through the favourites to take out the big one, Pam.
Right, so it has to be Tamika, right? I mean, if we're looking across the season for consistency, she had a bit of a slow start, I think. Before the votes went behind closed doors, which was around 5, she had 11 votes, but she's been enormous at the back end of the season. She scored 18 tries in the 11 games or so. It's just been a huge season for her, and also the Broncos. So, but the other player that could take votes off her is Julia Robinson as well. So, who has just been absolutely incredible this year. This has been her best season so far, moving from the wing into the centres. So, but Tamika, she could be the first NRLW player to win multiple Dally M awards. I think she's the favourite to do it. Obviously, then there's Isabel Kelly as well, who has had an incredible season at the Roosters. She was top of the poll when it went behind closed doors. I think she had 23 votes or something. So she'll be tough to chase down. But she also missed one game. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be a really tight finish.
we have got a number of nominees, obviously, as well for the positional awards, and some of the fields are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Take us through prop of the year, and can you choose the 2 prop that you would put through to taking home Dally M's? Because I can't.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same thing. But anyway, so here we go. Prop of the year. So we've got Rima Butler, Atessa Poulet,
Roosters.
Yes, Elsie Albert, obviously for Parramatta, and then we've got Jess Elliston at the Titans and Ellie Johnston at the Sharks.
Okay,
so
I will go.
Massive field.
I can't go past Jess Elliston. I know they're not in finals, but she had, her numbers were phenomenal this season, and I would say Jess is going to take out 1, and then,
I know, how do you pick? Really?
Like Elsie Albert's been phenomenal as well. Ellie Johnson had a great back end to the season, I think. So I'd say it's a Rooster. Maybe Rima Butler's been enormous. So is Atessa. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say a Rooster and Jess Elliston.
You're not even going to narrow it down? No.
It could be 2 Roosters though.
No, it could be. I think Jess has to get one of them, I think, and it'll be one of those Roosters. I'm going to say Rima. Yeah. I think she's been incredible this
Jess
year.
Ellison's performance is probably going to see her picked in the Gillaroos this year.
Definitely.
So, I think she should be a Dally M prop of the year, centre of the year.
Now, this is crazy.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. You go first.
So we've got Isabel Kelly, Jess Sturgis, Julia Robinson, Mele Hufanga, and Tiana Penatani-Gray. Any one of them you would pick.
Okay, Julia Robinson, yes. I think it's 100%
one.
Julia Robinson from the Broncos, centre of the year. And then the second one, I'm going to say Isabel Kelly.
Yeah, I think it'll be Isabel Kelly. I think if she's so high in the vote, in the overall Dally M vote count, she'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what about Coach of the Year? Because we've got 3 outstanding nominees. I'm the believer that John Strange wins it based on the fact that they went unbeaten. But Ricky Henry, there's an argument there that the Cowboys coach, gets it.
Yeah, I don't know how they decide this. I think it's just straight vibes, to be honest. But straight vibes. We are not Gen Z. So I think Ricky Henry could snake this. He's had a great season with the Cowboys. Obviously, they made finals.
For the first time.
For the first time. We're just such a big improvement, I think, from last year.
If it's based on improvement, yes.
Yeah.
But John Strange has guided that team to the unbeaten.
1,000%. I think he's the best coach in the NRLW. Whether it's been the best coaching performance of the season is another thing.
All right. Rookie of the Year, also a hotly contested field. And Indy Bostock trying to follow her brother's shoes because Jack won it last year. I don't think Indy can win it this year, sorry for declaring it so soon, but that's because she missed a fair bit of footy, I think. And, she was a bright and outstanding prospect.
Of course.
But in terms of the consistent, Elise Simpson had a fabulous year. In the Raiders team that struggled at the front end, she got thrown into the deep end. And she had some incredible highlights. Yeah,
she looked really promising as well. She was really great in handling NRLW in the step up. The other one is Shalom Suaso at the Broncos. So she's had a great season. She has really shown her class in stepping up into that team and just how much she can impact them from the bench. So I think she might get it. She's my tip.
Yeah, and it's not games played. So, Indy, sorry, you probably can win it. It's not based on how many games you've played. It's just on the talent that you're showing, right? So, yes, I take that back, Indy Bostock. You could probably win it because you've had a freaking awesome rookie season. All right, now we have thrown our Let's Make Rugby League Greater to our inspired listeners.
Yes.
And they have sent some emails about some ideas. So, Pam, do you want to go through the first one from Jen and tell us what she's suggesting?
Okay, so hi Lara and Pam, love your podcast. Thank you so much, Jen. I have a question about Magic Round. Why don't they open the NRLW season with Magic Round in 2026? This season opened on a cold Thursday night to an empty Shark Stadium, which was so low-key. If the season launches the same weekend in 2026, which was an Origin-affected NRL week, you could have a big impact with the Magic Round season launch, plus all the NRLW players would be in one place for round one. Marketing and press just makes sense, really.
Ugh.
Jen,
you need a job at the NRL.
She does. So I like this idea. I think the NRLW Magic Round should be on some kind of a an impacted NRL round. Like,
Makes sense.
I think it should be in the last round of the season, which is usually the first, or is the last round, or the first round of the NRL finals. So there's 4 games on, which means that the NRLW gets a little bit more airtime. I would love to see that. I think they are going to, it was one of the things this year, they're taking it to a regional centre somewhere around New South Wales. So I don't know where that's going to be next year. Could be Newcastle again, could be Wollongong, could be, anywhere really. So it'll be at some regional centre. But in terms of broadcast, yeah, I would like the idea of having it on a bye round or
makes sense.
Yeah.
I do think though, this is a bigger topic, but I still am not convinced. Whilst we're all happy this week with Grand Final week, I get it. I still don't think the NRLW is in the right spot in the year. I don't know where it is, where it needs to sit. But the more people I talk to about the lack of cut through of this NRLW final series, because this men's final series has been enormous. Yeah, like one of the best we've ever seen. Yeah. So it's hard. Like the women's game, that Sharks Roosters matchup was in clean air, fantastic. A lot of people saying great things, but I still feel like there's not enough coverage of the women, and that's just because the men's is such an enormous product. Yeah. The more people I speak to, it's like we're floating around. Do we start it in February before the men, get people excited? Yeah. Then have the finals in April, the grand final at Magic Round, then Women's Origin at the back end of the year, then internationals. Not sure, but I still think that is a huge problem that the game needs to look at, where the women sit.
We need a plan.
We're robbing Pam of her grand final dream, which is having the 2 grand finals played.
I just love it.
I know. She just loves it. She's a romantic. All right. I'm just going to go now to our next one, and it's from Emily. And this is actually a suggestion or a question around, do we scrap the cap? Do we scrap the jobs in the NRLW? And that's just understanding. I'll read what Emily has said here. That how can a couple of teams at the top of the NRLW be packed with so much talent when there's a salary cap in place? Are some top players at teams like Brisbane and the Roosters playing for less than they would at other clubs in order to stay together? The answer is yes. So the idea of how to make women's rugby league greater is, do we need to scrap the jobs that are currently in place, because that's why the salary cap is not working. So
you're saying clubs can't offer girls jobs. So as a development officer, as a whatever it might be, in community or whatever, because then
it's not a level playing field.
I don't agree with that. I think that the girls should be able to get whatever employment opportunities that they can. I think the issue is that the salary cap just doesn't work because it's not very big. So it doesn't work because the difference, and we've talked about it a lot this year, the difference between a really good contract and a mediocre contract might be 10 grand. So it's just not enough of a difference to persuade somebody to move.
So the girls are taking unders. That's the answer to the question. They're taking unders, or less, not unders, just less. If it means they stay together and win.
But it's not that much.
Yeah, because it might be a 10 or 15 grand difference, or 5 grand difference to
over
move
the course of
and
the
relocate.
Season.
Yeah.
If the 2 options are 10 grand more to go to a club that might be struggling and uproot your whole life, or to stay where you are happy and maybe where your family is or whatever it is, and that's.
But I do disagree, because I don't think it's a level playing field. I don't think the clubs should be able to offer jobs, because not all of them can afford to.
Yeah, well,
and I don't think that it's right.
I think clubs should be.
I think it's a
more.
Loophole. Yeah, but it's a massive loophole, because if you're a rich club, and that's why the Roosters and the Broncos can do it. Yeah, they are able to offer the jobs, and I believe there's a cap on how many you can offer, or isn't there? Can you just give as many as you want anyway? I think that's the loophole, and clubs aren't exploiting any rules. They're just doing what they are allowed to do. But that's why it's at the moment. That's why the Roosters and the Broncos are able to stockpile the talent that they have. Yeah. On top of that, they're a great, as we've spoken about, they're great clubs. They've got great coaches with great programs around them, resources, centres of excellence, all the things that make these athletes better, and that's why players go there.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it also gives a bit of an excuse to clubs who don't offer these jobs or do not put as much investment into their NRLW teams. There are clubs who are not good at it. You know, there are clubs who do not put money behind their NRLW program, and you can kind of see who they are based on the ladder.
Yeah. So don't feel sorry for for some of them who can.
They have the same. They can work in the same within the same rules as everybody else. No one's exploiting the rules. It's just how much they want to invest or how much they can invest in their women's programs.
Yeah, they can as well.
They can, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, and our last question is from Vels, and we love this one. You can take us through his suggestion.
Okay, so hi, Lara and Pam, loving the pod. Okay, so Isabel Kelly's broken jaw got me thinking, have you ever suffered an injury playing sport?
Okay, that's a different question. Okay, have you ever had an injury playing sport?
Many ankle injuries playing netball.
Okay.
I love indoor netball. It's just so much fun to play, but I have since had an ankle reconstruction. I need to have one of my other, and I just
that's awful.
Don't want to do that. I just don't play netball anymore, but I do love it so much. Okay. What about you? You were a pretty handy basketballer back in the day, were you not?
So I dislocated my pinky. Right. Remember, I came in and it was purple, and it's still not right, but whatever, it's my pinky finger. I've broken a collarbone falling off a horse, and that's a sport. But I used to ride horses, and that was pretty painful. Otherwise, I've injured myself with a stock whip. That's also a horse riding accident, and that was an eye injury. But yes, that was pretty tough to come back from an eye injury.
That's why we sit here and talk.
That's why I'm not tough enough to play rugby league.
We are not.
But that's not the part. That's an interesting question, Bells. But the meatier part is still to come.
So this is a suggestion for the Make Women's Rugby League Better segment. Is it time for the women's game to have its own GM or CEO to lead it into the next era? I hope it makes it to the show. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Vels. Yes, I mean, we talk about this all the time. I mean, from just to give you a peek into the background, it would be of what, you know, the media does. It would be unreal to be able to have someone that you could just call and quote and ask them a question, and they would know what's going on with the women's game immediately. They don't have to go and be briefed by somebody else, or it would just be great to be able to speak to somebody who is directly responsible for making decisions about it, who, you know, you could speak to and riff off and things like that. It'd be great to be able to quote somebody on the reg, you know, like who has a direct impact on the women's game and who has future plans for it. But then aside from that, to have somebody who's responsible for driving the next generation, like putting a plan in place. What are we doing? Like what does next season look like? We don't know. What does the season after that look like? What are our plans for expansion? All of these things wait for the commission to have a look at and then mull over and then eventually come up with a plan. But that takes time because they're also dealing with so much in the NRL as well. So yeah, it would be great. Would love that. I don't know if that'll ever happen because it would mean splitting power, obviously. But I would love it.
I think the competition is big enough. It should be considered its own product whilst it's the same game. Yeah. And therefore it should have its own dedicated team working on it, including whether you want to call it a GM or a CEO, whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah. That should be at top of the priority list for the NRL because there is, as you say, zero clarity at the moment. Yeah. And perhaps someone driving the ship would help all of us understand and also campaign for the growth and for the proper strategy behind what this game is looking like in the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah. I don't think next year, I want to know 5 to 10 years what it looks like what the plan is, because that's what's going to safeguard this game from and also see it realise its potential even further. Because at the moment it's going great guns with very little long-term direction. Yeah.
Like at the moment, it's sat on the back burner with the NRL as the main priority. And while the NRL obviously is the big money earner, it is all of those things. It is the the centerpiece of the entire business.
But also
rugby
don't look at
league,
it that way anymore,
but
because the women can make their own money, and the women should be standing on their own 2 feet.
What happens with that is then the things that go on with the NRLW are not addressed as early as they could be, which could lead to, it's better potential.
But I think it's high time, Pam, that people stop looking at the NRLW as an offshoot of the NRL, and also see it it doesn't have to be the same. We've talked about this. It is not the same. Yes, it's the same product, but it should be completely, it should be marketed differently. It just needs a bit more thought put into what it wants to be and what it wants to look like going forward. So, Vels, we are 100%. Let's start a petition. You can start it. We'll sign it. We need a GM or a CEO for the women's game. And as soon as possible would be great. Pam, thank you so much. Before we go, let's crystal ball it. And, okay, the Broncos could do something that hasn't been done in rugby league, and they could win the double. So the NRLW girls could get it done. The men could get it done on the same day. We had the Eels had the opportunity to do that once. That didn't happen. But in all possibility, this could actually happen.
It could actually happen.
So there's got to be someone in Brisbane just like not putting the juju out there because you don't want to like jinx it. But you got to get organised, because that could be enormous.
Imagine if they bring home 2 premierships.
Yeah. And what would they do? What would you want to see?
A parade.
Parade.
A parade. I want to see everybody
on the buses, like we see, like the 2 teams on those big double-decker buses driving through
Caxton Street.
Yes.
Just insane.
Get it done. I mean, actually get it done, Brisbane. Get the trophies, because that would be great scenes.
I mean, may the best teams win, but it would, you think forward to those scenes and how special that would be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a few deposits put down for a couple of different plans, surely.
Yeah, they've got to make some plans, just in case. I mean, just in case. Just don't tell anyone. Yeah. We won't be writing about it in the Daily Telegraph or on Code Sports, but we'll just predict that it could happen. And maybe we'll get an invite and go up and have a few beers at Caxton next week. Pam, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing if our Dalian predictions come to fruition on Wednesday night, and cannot wait till this grand final on Sunday.
Can't wait. Thanks so much, Lara.